Hey, so hello everyone, welcome back to 1000 plus expected MCQs series, which we are doing for RBI Grade B Phase 1 examination this year. We all know that now less than 2 weeks are left for your RBI Grade B Phase 1 exam, which is on 8th of September. So therefore, let's start our next set of questions today. Before that, I will tell you one thing, guys. In this last few days of preparation, many of the students came to us, and for all those students who had doubts, especially related to revision of current affairs and the MCQ practice which is associated with current affairs or general awareness, we have launched two important courses or supports for you. First is GA MCQ batch, in which in 30 to 40 lectures we are providing 2000 MCQs. Today, even you can go on our Oliveboard YouTube channel, Oliveboard Regulatory Bodies, and you can check out the first demo session which is by Pooja ma'am. In this particular batch, in 1200 rupees only, as 47% off is going on, almost this particular course will come in something 1200-1300 rupees. 1000 MCQs for ESI current affairs, 600 plus MCQs for general awareness, 500 plus MCQs for banking finance, and 500 plus MCQs for expected questions in RBI Grade B Phase 1 exam this year. You can enroll it, go on website. On the first row only, you will find this course. Same thumbnail is there of the color. Go and check out the course, see the deliverables. See, the point is, अगर लास्ट के 10 to 15 days में अगर आपको कोई सिलेक्टेड नंबर ऑफ वीडियोस दे रहा है कि ये 30 वीडियोस करो और 2000 MCQ सॉल्व करो, तो ये बहुत ही बढ़िया आपको कोर्स है. YouTube पे आप रैंडम मैराथन्स पे बैठोगे, वो आपको 10-10 हजार, 12-12, 15-15 हजार क्वेश्चन कराएंगे, ठीक है, लेकिन उसमें से एक भी क्वेश्चन एग्जाम में नहीं आएगा. अगर क्योंकि स्टूडेंट्स की हैबिट होती है कि वो एक मैराथन सिलेक्ट करते, फिर दूसरी मैराथन सिलेक्ट करते, एंड रैंडमली दे गो फ्रॉम वन मैराथन टू अदर मैराथन. बट द प्रॉब्लम इज कि यूट्यूब पे जो मैराथन होती है वो फ्री होती है. द क्वेश्चंस आर नॉट दैट क्वालिटी ओरिएंटेड. दिस इज व्हाट यू कैन सी. बट इन 1000 प्लस MCQ एक्सपेक्टेड सेशंस, दीज आर द सेम क्वेश्चंस वी विल बी टेकिंग इन द बैच. आपको पता ही होगा, इतने दिन जो हम लेक्चर ले रहे हैं, सी द क्वालिटी ऑफ द क्वेश्चंस. सो दिस इज आवर फर्स्ट बैच, GA MCQ बैच. See, 2 ही वीक बचे हैं. इन दिस 2 weeks इट्स आवर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी ना दैट वी विल कवर 2000 MCQs. तो हम पे छोड़ दो, हम ये कवर जरूर करेंगे. तो द सेकेंड थिंग इज रिलेटेड टू रिविजन. इफ यू आर वर्किंग, इफ यू डोंट हैव टाइम, इफ यू आर अ स्टूडेंट हु हैज ऑलरेडी स्टडीड अबाउट करंट अफेयर्स बट डिडंट मेड नोट्स नहीं है आपके पास. इफ यू आर अ स्टूडेंट मेड नोट्स बट दोज नोट्स यू थिंक दैट आई डोंट थिंक दैट आई एम हैविंग कॉन्फिडेंस इन दिस नोट्स कि मेरा फेज 1 एग्जाम निकले, या फिर यू आर अ स्टूडेंट हु हैज नॉट टच्ड करंट अफेयर्स, बीच बीच में एक दूसरा महीना किया लेकिन बाकी का महीना नहीं किया. फॉर ऑल दिस प्रॉब्लम्स वी हैव लॉन्च 3 magazines ओनली, बस 3 magazines. 1 magazine current affairs which covers June to August 2024 current affairs, complete concrete current affairs. Then 1 magazine for government scheme, January to August 2024 complete government scheme. Current affairs also January 2024 to August 2024 complete current affairs, concrete current affairs. Then government scheme, then PIB similarly, PIB January 2024 to August 2024. सारी चीजें 3 मैगजीन में कवर. द GA ओवरऑल solution is provided to all of you. Okay, one stop solution is this revision pack for regulatory exams. Now how to get this both of the courses? इन कोर्सेस को कैसे वेबसाइट पे जाके चेकआउट करें? नथिंग, यू हैव टू गो ऑन Oliveboard डैशबोर्ड. ठीक है, Oliveboard की वेबसाइट पे जाओ. रक्षाबंधन सेल 47% ऑफ इज ऑलरेडी गोइंग ऑन. 47% ऑफ. जनरली रेगुलेटरी बॉडीज में इवन 35% होता नहीं है. नाउ इट्स 47%. ये आपका Oliveboard का मेन हमारा डैशबोर्ड है, रेगुलेटरी बॉडीज सेक्शन है. पहले ही कोर्सेस में ये RBI के कोर्सेस, और ये तीसरा जो कोर्स यहाँ पर 2000 MCQs का यहाँ पर स्टिकर भी लगा है. दिस इज द कोर्स. लास्ट के 15 डेज में अगर GA में कोई भी डर लग रहा है, इफ यू आर स्केयर्ड ऑफ GA, if you're really scared, if you're worried that you don't know anything about current affairs and those 80 marks, you are really worried that hardly you think that you may not be scoring more than 15 marks. Definitely there is no other solution. This is the only batch which can help you out. Okay. Next, as I told you, if you're a student who is looking for revision, only revision, I need those 3 magazines, sir. No worries. Oliveboard regulatory bodies, test section में जाओ. In test section, go in RBI. In RBI test section, as you will go, at the bottom here only, you will see that here all the tests are there. Look at it. RBI Grade B Phase 1 tests. Okay, all the tests are there. Test 1, Test 2, Test 3. And here in red color highlighted section, you could see regulatory revision PDF current affairs scheme and PIB included course. Get it now, यहाँ पर option है, click here. Okay, in test sections this revision pack is there, 3 magazines आपको test sections में मिलेंगे in RBI. So dashboard, RBI, test section and then revision PDF. क्या क्या मिलने वाला है? 3 मैगजीन, करंट अफेयर्स की, गवर्नमेंट स्कीम की, PIB की. कब से कब करंट अफेयर्स कवर हो रहा है? टोटल गवर्नमेंट स्कीम और PIB जनवरी से लेकर अगस्त 2024, 6 मंथ का नहीं, 8 मंथ्स का करंट अफेयर्स पूरा 3 मैगजीन में कवर्ड. दैट्स इट, डन. ओनली 999. Okay, so both the courses I have told. Now let us start with our session, that is your 100 plus MCQ sessions, the series which we are continuing. Let's start with the 11th question because last time we had taken the 10th question. Okay, 80 questions हम ऐसे ऐसे लेते जा रहे हैं, right? तो अभी शुरू करते हैं. The government securities, जिसको G-Secs भी कहा जाता है, the sovereign bond market plays a key role in financial architecture of development of an economy in several ways. Which of the following statements are true regarding role of government securities in India? First, it is the operating platform through which Reserve Bank of India alters liquidity conditions in financial systems through OMOs or open market operations. It is important element of the term structure of interest rates in the economy that facilitates transmission of socio-economic welfare policy signals from short end of yield curve to longer end impacting economic activity. It is the primary source of raising funds to meet budgetary funding gap of government that incurs fiscal deficit. Options 1 only, 2 only, 3 only, 1 and 2 only, and 1 and 3 only. So what is the answer here? What is the answer here, guys? What is the answer, guys? See, for such questions, it's very, very important that you go through all the statements. What is this question regarding? The topic is government securities. 3 statements have been given and we have to find out which is true. Okay. So the answer here, guys, is 5. That is 1 and 3 is only correct. Second statement is wrong because let us go through all the statements and understand it better. The G-Sec market or sovereign bond market plays very important role or key role in financial infrastructure of developing countries. Statement number 1 is correct. The operating platform which most central banks after liquidity conditions in financial system through open market operations OMO, that is purchase sale of government securities. So first the operating platform it is talking about, okay, that is also correct. So the first statement which was talking about the operating platform, that is correct. Second, it's an important element of the term structure of interest rate in the economy that facilitates transmission of monetary policy signals from short end of yield curve to longer end impacting economic activity. So here when you're looking at, it's an important element of the term structure of interest rate in the economy which from short end of yield to longer end impacting economic activity. So your second statement is this, and the third is it is primary source of raising funds to meet budgetary funding gap of governments that incurs fiscal deficit continuously. So the third statement is also correct. The first statement is also correct and we were told to find out the true statement only. The second statement when we are talking about, okay, so here the second statement is nothing but this statement. It's an important of term structure of interest in the economy that facilitates transmission of monetary policy, not socio-economic policy. Yes, socio-economic, when we are talking about government securities, why government securities are associated with socio-economic welfare policy? No, government securities are more, they are having their importance or lion's share in OMO operations. OMO in the sense open market operations, and open market operations are directly responsible for the overall monetary policy signals. Okay, so this is how, because these monetary policy signals are again connected to bonds and open market operations, these government securities bonds, they definitely are connected to the monetary policy. So second statement was wrong because of the one word which the examiner had changed. Recently, Union Cabinet has approved overarching Prithvi Vigyan or Prithvi. In context of the above scheme, correct statements we have to find out. Implemented by Ministry of Science with a cost of 4797 crore. Technology for exploration and sustainable harnessing of oceanic resources for societal application is one of the objectives of the scheme. Exploration of polar highs and high seas shall be carried out in the search of new resources. All 1, 2, 3, 2 only, 1 and 2 only, 2 and 3 only, and 1 only. We have to find correct statements. Yes? So the answer here is 2 and 3 only. So the first statement is wrong. The reason is very simple. It is not implemented by Ministry of Science and Technology, but Ministry of Earth Sciences. Ministry of Earth Sciences. A simple question, how examiner just changed the ministry. Let's read about rest of the content which has been given. Prithvi Vigyan or Prithvi is the scheme which is under Ministry of Earth Sciences. The corpus is correct, 4797 crore rupees. What is the most important aspect of this scheme? It is nothing but atmospheric and climate change modeling observation system and services. Ocean services, modeling applications, resource and technology, that is OSMART, comes under Prithvi. Across comes under Prithvi. Polar science and cryosphere research PACER comes under Prithvi. Then seismology and geoscience SAGE comes under Prithvi. Research, education, training and outreach, reach out, comes under Prithvi. The major objectives when we are talking about it is nothing but atmospheric research, geospheric, cryospheric, earth solid research, as well as even finding the any new data statistics, as well as overall researching these vital science in all of these spheres. Development of modeling systems which are associated with prediction of weather, exploration of polar areas and high sea regions where the sea depth is higher, development of technology for exploring the energy or sustainable resources which can be from oceanic resources, and then earth system sciences and its exploration. These are some of the statements which I tried to explain you in very short way. Next question, let's try to read. I know that here the question is really very small, but try to understand. थोड़ा सा length question का ज़रा ज़्यादा है, so that's why. But don't worry, I will explain you the question. This question is associated with Reserve Bank's policy. What is this policy? Withdrawal of accommodation of supporting growth amidst high domestic inflation. Now, Reserve Bank is concerned with the consumer convenience and protection. कि इन्फ्लेशन से जो गरीब आदमी है, इन्फ्लेशन से जो आपका मिडिल क्लास आदमी है, आम आदमी है, उसको प्रोटेक्ट करना. This regulatory and supervisory policy of RBI aimed of increasing ease of doing business for regulated entities and ensuring financial stability in terms of various regulatory and supervision policies of RBI. कौन सी स्टेटमेंट यहां पर सही नहीं है? That means which of the statement is wrong? So the overall question would be on regulatory and supervision policy. The policy stance shifted in calibrated manner from pandemic phase, that is dovish, to withdrawal of accommodation to ensure that inflation progressively aligns to the target while supporting growth. First thing. Second, to strengthen the liquidity management, a standing deposit facility SDF was instituted in April 2022 on the floor as the floor of liquidity adjustment facility corridor, replacing the fixed rate reverse repo. So try to understand. And the third is, in order to enable better fund management by banks, it was decided to allow reversal of liquidity facilities, both SDF and repo, even during weekends, holiday, with effect from December 30, 2023. अगर किसी को भी कुछ भी समझने नहीं आया, don't worry, I will explain you now. Policy stance shifted from, दो stance होते हैं, एक होता है dovish, एक होता है hawkish. ठीक है, एक होता है dovish, एक होता है hawkish. जब इन्फ्लेशन आपका ज्यादा होता है, so you are overall because of the pandemic phase from dovish stance, then we slowly tried gradually to get into hawkish stance. So withdrawal of accommodation, that means accommodative policy would be there, that would be withdrawn to ensure that inflation progressively aligns to the target while supporting the growth. We all know that economic cycle, right? Suppose when COVID was going on, economic slowdown was there, right? Why? No demand, less production, lockdowns, right? Because of all these things, your slowdown in growth was there. After COVID, post-COVID, if you see, this accommodative stance, this dovish stance, then government tried to do it hawkish. That means more investment, okay, more production. But when you are trying growth, we also know that along with the growth, there will be inflation also, right? Because of the high production, too much money in the hands of people, inflation also will be there. So the first statement is talking about how government ensured that inflation will align with the target of growth. Second statement talks about how the liquidity management was done in the Indian economic market. For example, standing deposit facility was instituted and the floor of the liquidity adjustment facility corridor replacing the fixed rate reverse repo. Reverse repo is nothing. Repo, what is repo rate? Repo rate is nothing but your SBI and all those banks are there. Those take certain amount of money from RBI and RBI charges the interest on them. Reverse repo is nothing but when RBI is taking the money from SBI and other banks and then those banks are charging interest on the RBI. So reverse repo, this fixed rate was replaced by liquidity adjustment facility corridor. Okay, so by SDF, standing deposit facility. And third is, in order to enable better fund management by the banks, it was decided that reversal of liquidity facilities both under SDF and repo even in weekends and holidays was done so that the liquidity flow remains in the market even when holidays are there or even when weekends are there. Liquidity flow will be there in the market. This was taken care of. So now three statements are given. All these three statements are based on regulatory and supervision policy of RBI. We have to find which is not correct. So the correct answer here is 1 and 3. The second is wrong. Let us try to understand why it is wrong. In order to enable better fund management, okay, it was decided to allow the liquidity facilities under both standing deposit facility and marginal your MSF also, okay, even during weekends and holidays with effect from December 2030. So which are not correct was asked. So 1 and 3 are not correct. That means first is wrong, third is also wrong, second is correct. That means yes, SDF was instituted as the floor of liquidity adjustment facility corridor replacing fixed rate of reverse repo. Here the third statement, why third statement is wrong? It's because both SDF and repo, here repo will not come. This is wrong here. Both standing deposit facility and MSF, okay, MSF and SDF both were used. The policy stance shifted in a calibrated manner. मैंने पहले ही बताया step wise step manner change हुआ था from pandemic phase of accommodation to withdrawal of accommodation to ensure that inflation aggressively aligns to the target while supporting growth. तो इस statement में क्या कहा गया था? That pandemic phase dovish to withdrawal of accommodation. But actually में answer क्या है? From pandemic phase accommodation to withdrawal of accommodation. Dovish नहीं, ठीक है? Dovish नहीं, ठीक है? So dovish word was wrong here. Next, so that's why you will see first and third are wrong, but your second is correct. Question 14. RBI issued draft omnibus framework for self-regulatory organization such as NBFC, banks, etc. In order to be eligible for the apply of SRO license, applicant shall be dash with adequate network and ability to create infrastructure to discharge various responsibilities on continuous basis. The applicant also must be representing the sector and having specified membership or at least submit the roadmap for the attaining special membership within a reasonable time. 1. A partnership firm. 2nd, a non-for-profit company. 3rd, digital banking unit. 4, public company, and 5, private company. Answer, guys. So it should be, guys, a not-for-profit company. Okay. So this draft of omnibus framework, it is for all the SROs. But when we are talking about all these SROs, that is self-regulatory organization, this shall set up a not-for-profit company with adequate network and ability to create infrastructure on different responsibilities. Okay. So if any question comes related to self-regulatory organization and omnibus framework, just remember this important fact that it should be an SRO, the applicant shall set up a not-for-profit company. Very important. This keyword is very, very important. Question 15. Recently, Cayman Island has been removed from the grey list of FATF, Financial Action Task Force. I hope you know. Which of the following statements are correct about FATF? So अब directly questions सारे आपके FATF के related पूछे जाएंगे, right? Let us see one by one. Financial Action Task Force was established in the year of 1989. ठीक है? Second, it monitors the compliance of its member countries, with its standards through a process known as mutual evaluation. And third is it provides technical assistance and training to the member countries and other jurisdictions to help them to implement FATF standards effectively. We have to find which of the statements are correct. Okay? So 1, 2, 2, 3, 2 only, 3 only, and all 1, 2, 3. The answer here is all 1, 2, 3 are correct. Let us go through this particular segment here. So FATF की जब हम बात करते हैं, remember it's an intergovernmental organizations. Their examiner will be having chance to exchange this particular word with various other words. For example, they may say that it is a separate entity. Okay, it is not an governmental organization. It combats financial crimes. Okay, examples are money laundering, terrorist financing, proliferation of financing, etc. Okay, it is established in 1989 in G7 summit of Paris. This is very, very important. Okay, and it has various lists. Okay, one of the list is grey list. Okay, so this grey list also you can research a little bit to have more information. Okay, next, as per the reports, one district one product ODOP program under Department of Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, the PIIT, under Ministry of Commerce and Industry, had successfully enlisted dash aggregators, okay, pursuing goal of uniting organizations dedicated in promoting brand India. What is aggregator? ये एक ऐसा platform होता है, it is that platform where multiple other organizations can come together and they can be represented on this platform. There are various aggregators. Payment aggregators are there. Okay. Services aggregators are there. Okay. Telecom aggregators are there. So aggregator is nothing but multiple companies can come on the one platform and they can then provide the services. This diverse community of ODOP aggregates spans of 25 plus states and union territories, encompassing 160 districts in its representation, aims to enlighten consumers about origin of ingredients in the products they use, establishing a distinct entity and fostering awareness. How much are these aggregators which are added in this particular ODOP, ODOP, in a goal of uniting organizations dedicated to promote brand India? So how much aggregators have been added here? 100, 500, 75, 50 and 200. So how much this ODOP has enlisted, how much aggregators? So the answer is very easy, guys. It is 50 only, because here this news easily came in your almost 2 to 3 months old. This news is 50th aggregator, if you know, in the Economic Times only it came. That was Ayurvedic Wellness Company. Okay, forest essential, presenting beauty and wellness. ODOP even identified value added products to global stage. Okay, so these are very, very important news. Try to go through all of this. One more thing, ODOP scheme is very, very important this year. Okay. Question number 17. Cooperative banks play an important role in Indian financial system. Now, the whole question here, this whole paragraph will be blah, 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 blah related to cooperative banks. In the light of report on trends and progresses of banking in India from Reserve Bank of India, which of the following statements are correct? When you consider RBI Grade B website, सब लोगों को ये लगता है, everybody feels like only annual report is important, only the estimates are important, only certain monetary policy committee report is there, that is important, financial stability report is there, only that is important. Look at this report on trends and progresses of banking in India. Again, this is the one of the most underrated reports which many of the students skip it. But see, direct question is there from this. Now, why the question is there? See, cooperative banks have been news in this year. So that is why this question has come. Urban cooperative banks have been classified as scheduled or non-scheduled based on whether they are included in second schedule of RBI Act 1934 and their geographical outreach. First statement. Second, as per the above report, 97% of rural credit operations are District Central Cooperative Bank are by District Cooperative Central Bank, that is DCCBs. The number of UCBs increased steadily between March 2004 to March 2023. Very beautifully crafted questions. All the statements are very, very important. I hope that you should be able to give the answer. One only, two only, three only, one, two only, and two, three only, and we have to find which are correct. The answer here is one only. The first statement is correct, rest two are wrong. Let us go through all the statements. The liberal licensing policy adopted in 1990s resulted in mushrooming of large number of urban cooperative banks. Third of newly licensed banks subsequently turned financially unsound. Starting in 2004 or 5, Reserve Bank started the consolidation of such unviable UCBs. Okay? For that, it did cancelling of licenses of non-viable entities, suspension, etc. As a result, if you see, a number of UCBs declined steadily between March 2024 and 2023. So, the third statement which was talking about that UCBs have increased from March 2004 to 2023, that's wrong. Actually, the UCBs, the urban cooperative banks have declined. Why they have declined? Because they have turned various urban cooperative banks have been unsound financially, and that's why their license cancelling, okay, wrapping up the bank, suspension, this have been done. Okay. As per latest data, 1502 UCBs and 1,05,268 rural, okay, RCCs, okay, these have been the numbers related to your banks. More than 97% of RCCs are primarily PACs, that is primary agriculture credit societies. Okay, so the second statement, more than 97% of rural credit cooperatives, RCC, are district central cooperative banks. No, they are PACs, that is primary agricultural credit societies. UCBs are classified as scheduled, non-scheduled based on whether they include in the second schedule of Reserve Bank of India, which was your first statement. Only first statement is correct, rest two are wrong. Okay, so I have gone through the solution for your understanding. Question number 18, based on scheme, that is Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana, crossed 30 crore Ayushman cards. Flagship scheme implemented by National Health Authority. What is it providing? Health cover of 5 lakh rupees per family per year for secondary and tertiary care hospitalization to 12 crore beneficiary families. Just imagine. Which of the following state tops the list of states with highest number of Ayushman cards created? Which is the state which is having highest Ayushman cards? Gujarat, Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Tamil Nadu. Very simple question. This is direct, straight hit. So here the answer is very simple. It is Uttar Pradesh, guys. Uttar Pradesh is the state. How much Ayushman cards are there in Uttar Pradesh? 4.83 crore rupees. Area population wise also it is very logical that Uttar Pradesh tops all the states. But if you see Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra is at rank 2. Okay. And sorry, Maharashtra is at rank 3 and Madhya Pradesh is at rank 2. Madhya Pradesh it is 3.78 crore. Maharashtra is at 2.39 crores. So this is overall. Now this again becomes very important. This Ayushman Bharat PM Jan Arogya Yojana, this is very, very important. Okay? Then National Energy Conservation Day. It's celebrated every year on December 14. Then all this blah 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 is given. Okay? Read the main question. The National Energy Conservation Day is celebrated first in which of the following years? Again, see, as I told you, RBI loves asking questions which are related to dates. But these dates should be the first one. So they always ask that, suppose for example, Pravasi Bharatiya Divas. Okay. When was it first time celebrated? 2002, 2004, 2005, 2006. Similarly, National Energy Conservation Day. When was it celebrated for the first time? The answer here is 1991. Okay, 1991. For the first time, it was celebrated on 14th of December, 1991. Are we clear? Last question of today's session. As per recent amendments to know your customer KYC norms by Reserve Bank of India on politically exposed persons, which of the following types of persons can be defined as politically exposed person? Senior judicial officers, senior executives of state-owned corporations, all government officers, individuals who have been entrusted with prominent public functions by a foreign country. 1, 2 only, 3 only, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. What is the answer here? Last question, guys. So the answer here is like 1, 2 and 4. So here logically all government officers will not be included. That was a very like basic thing to understand, but definitely it will not be working. Such techniques will not be working every time. As per recent directions of Reserve Bank of India for politically exposed persons, these are individuals who have been entrusted with prominent public functions by a foreign country, including heads of state and government, senior politicians, senior government or judicial officers, military officers, senior executives of state-owned corporations, and important political party officials. That's it. No, all government officers do not come into this. Okay. One more question we'll be taking. Okay. As per recent directions from Reserve Bank of India Basel III framework, the question is completely on Basel III. Okay. So this framework is Basel III framework on liquidity standards for net stable funding ratio, NSFR. Which of the following statements are not correct? First, as per new directions, SEBI and National Bank for Financial Infrastructure and Development, NABFID is one of the subsidiaries of NABARD, shall be excluded from considering national development banks for NSFR computation. Second, the recent instruction of NSFR shall not be applicable to regional rural banks. And third, above directions will be applicable from 1st of April 2024. Have you heard about the framework of net stable funding ratio under Basel III norms? The answer here is 1, which is 1 and 3 only. The second is wrong. I will tell you why the second is wrong. Okay. So, Basel III norms framework on liquidity standards net stable funding ratio. The final guidelines, NABARD, NHB and SEBI are considered as national developmental banks under extant NFSR framework. SEBI and NABFID are not the national development banks, but rather NABARD, NHB and SEBI. These three are your national development banks. So did you understand what was wrong? NABFID was wrong here. Rest two statements are correct, which I told you. The first statement not correct pucha tha, right? So yes, first is wrong because your SEBI and NABFID is considered. Then third is also wrong because the directions are actually applicable if you look at the date, okay? Yeah, so the date when we are talking about that the above directions will be applicable from April 1, 2024, that is wrong. Okay, so it has been decided that all it has been decided that all the other financial institutions, that is AIFIs, Exim Bank, National Bank for Financial Infrastructure and Development, NABFID, shall be also considered as NDBs. So it has been decided that it is a proposed thing, okay, that Exim and NABFID will be considered. But now, as of now, NABARD, NHB and SEBI only are under NSFR framework as a National Developmental Bank. Further, when we are talking about, okay, all the excessive information could be here seen, go through all of these information. You will understand that the third statement which they were talking about, the above directions are already applicable. These are not applicable, especially from a particular date like April 1. Second statement was correct here. The recent instruction on NFSR shall not be applicable to regional rural banks, which has been given here very, very clearly. Okay. So these will not be applicable to regional rural banks, that has been given here. So in this way, this was a question. What was asked? Not correct was asked, and the answer is 1. That means your first statement, why it was wrong? NABFID is considered. Which are the organizations? NABARD, SEBI and NHB, National Housing Bank. Second statement, when I am talking about, okay, recent instruction shall be applicable, not applicable to regional rural banks. Yes, it is not applicable to regional rural banks. And third statement, when I am talking about, that is wrong. It is already applicable. It is not applicable from specific date like 1st April. Okay. So with this, we will end the session and tomorrow we will come back again. Now we will be also starting with the marathons which are associated with both NABARD as well as RBI. Thank you very much and see you next time.